hall meeting of this general format last month. We're going to do these, obviously, as you know, going forward every month, except for the month of June when we are essentially living out of pocket. We'll be in various locations from Europe to Canada and other parts of the country. So we really appreciate you guys chiming in. We've got 91 participants, and hopefully we'll continue to draw more interest as we go forward. We're going to kick off the presentation session with somebody very, very new to this particular group, perhaps not, and that's Pilates for Sports. Really was the passion of two co-founders that came together on a mission to benefit Pilates in the sporting community, and they've done incredible work with us, with USA Triathlon as one of our partners. I'm not sure how many of you have actually done Pilates, but it's pretty amazing for any athlete to do it, and you're going to hear a little bit about that today. So without further ado, please welcome our guest speaker on behalf of Pilates in Sport and the TeamUSA Challenge. She's going to introduce Nolene O'Shea. Nolene?
Hi, everyone. So I'm actually in Melbourne, Australia. So we've got lovely weather here at the moment. Summer's keeping on, so I'm hanging on to that. Thank you for having us. So we've this is our fourth year being partners with USA Triathlon, which has been amazing. And I suppose we do online customized Pilates programs for athletes. I guess the two main ways our programs differ from a lot of other things is the first one, we both come from sporting backgrounds. And so what we do is we actually link the Pilates program and the Pilates moves to improving your sport. So you might have a workout focused on improving your arm carry or focused on improving your pedal stroke. So it all links back to improving your sport, also reducing injury. And the other thing, it's all online, so you don't need any equipment, and we customize the program for you. So you fill out a consultation form. You might say that you're a triathlete. We do a lot of sports. You're a triathlete, and you want to focus on getting rid of a tight back, and you're training for an Ironman. And then based on that, our instructors put together a program for you. It's not a huge outlay of time, so it's 10 to 15 minutes a day, and then 1 30-minute a week. And then we do that for the first 28 days. So in the challenge that I'll talk about in a second, you have something small to do every day. And then if you want to continue after that, some people drop down to 4, 5, 6, or 7 times a week. So it's just whatever works in with your lifestyle. But it works really well as a warm-up for training so that your body is in the best shape and you get the most efficiency out of your work. I was going to say, the other thing we do as well as a consultation form is we encourage people to upload posture photos. So just from the front, side, and the back. And from that, we give you feedback. So a lot of injuries are caused because of poor posture. So if your shoulders are rolled forward, you're going to be more likely to get aggravation through the shoulder and also through the neck. And it's also going to impede your swimming stroke. So from the photos, we'll give you feedback about what you should work on improving your posture, also in your hips. So if your hip flexors are too tight, you're more likely to have tight hips, hip pain, and your glutes won't fire as much. So we'll give you that feedback as well. And if you have any questions as you go through, you just message us, and we have instructors on hand to answer any questions you have. I'll keep this really brief. What we're putting forward for the ambassadors, we've been working with USAT, is a challenge. So everyone who wants to do it signs up on a certain day. There's no charge. You fill in your consultation form, and we put together a program, and then you all start on a specified day, and you track together through the 28 days, but on your own specific program. But we'll set you up in a group so you can encourage each other, ask each other questions. And then at the end of the 28 days, if you do your photos, we get you to redo your photos so you can actually see a specific change in your posture. And we also get you to do just a plank hold test at the start of the challenge and then a plank hold test at the end of the challenge. So you can see, I haven't really had anyone who hasn't improved in their core strength over that period. So that's sort of the focus. The only thing I didn't say really, which I probably should have said at the start, sorry, is Pilates, if anyone hasn't done it, is all about strengthening your core. So everything from your shoulders to your butt, and then developing strong balanced muscles around the joints. So you'll produce more power, you're more efficient in your movement, and less chance of injury. So that's sort of an overview of us and what we offer. Did anyone have any questions or?
Can you get me a ice cube here? No,
You know, Lee, one of the things I'll tell you, having done it a few times,
You look like Kevin Spacey.
is that I had a situation with my back that was irritating me for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And my wife was actually doing Pilates and showed me some of the things that I could do at home that would be really beneficial. And it took maybe a month and a half, but it was amazing what benefit it created for me.
Yeah.
Because I was having issues on these long bike rides where my back was driving me crazy. And
Yeah.
man, the strength and what I was able to get from that was pretty incredible. So I can endorse it from firsthand that I thought I was never going to be able to ride a bike normally again. And I'm back to riding pretty normal. So
yeah, definitely. Because it's your core that supports you back as well. So if you can get a strong core and create that space in your spine, you're going to not have any pain. Are we doing questions, or is that sort of,
Anybody else?
Yeah, no, so how should our athletes kind of sign up for this? Is there a link that you can send me that I can provide our athletes, or a link that you could drop in the chat? Or is there a specified start date for all of the athletes, or is it kind of do at your own pace? Or can you kind of touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah, so what we found works really well is to specify a start date, and I can't remember off the top of my head if we have already picked a date, so I'll get back to you on that. But there will be a specified start date, but everyone will have like a 1 or 2 week lead time. We'll provide you with a link that you can send out to your ambassadors, and then they just literally sign up. It's all online, fill in the consultation form. We'll get their programs ready to go, and then on that start date, everyone will kick off.
Okay, perfect. So just to everyone else on this call, we will get a little more information sent out to you all in the next Team USA newsletter with a specified start date, and we'll have the link where you can go and sign up. Potentially, maybe it's April 1st, just so, we have like a start of a new month or something like that. But we'll get you all more information. We just wanted to have Nolene on today so she could kind of explain the challenge and whatnot, and then we'll go from there.
Would April 1st be a good date for you guys? Because then I can just get that set up if that's.
Is that April 1st in Australia or April 1st in the US?
We'll work on your time.
Okay.
This is the challenge of my life. I always have to work out. That's why I got totally mixed up this morning with time. So I was actually teaching, and I rescheduled everyone.
Perfect. Anything else, Lindsay, on that, or Nolene?
I'm good. Thank you for the time though. And we've got so many stories of people who have been broken and have been fixed. I love my job hearing the stories, and also just obviously injury prevention is one of the main things, but just also improvement in performance that people don't realize they can achieve when they're just more efficient in their movement.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. Excellent. Thank you, Nolene. Again, really, really appreciate you taking the time and spend the 5-6 minutes with us. You can stay on if you like, or if you want to pill.
Go back and teach now.
Yeah, you can go teach. Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, take care. Thank you.
We'll see you on the 1st.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
We also brought in, other than Nolene, we brought in another person that we've had a chance to work with for many, many years as one of not only the top coaches in the US, but one of the top coaches for Team USA. He's been a stalwart in everything that we've asked him to do, and he goes way beyond coaching people, coaching teams, coaching groups, and really adds a lot of value to what it is that we do for Team USA. He's also the guy that makes me laugh a lot, maybe too much, because he's fun. He's got a great personality, incredible background. He's got an incredible. Don't ride with this guy. I mean, he pulls me out on the roads, and then he rides really, really slow so I can keep up with him. But he's an incredible athlete alongside being a great coach. And what he's done for us is he's created some training plans. And so what we want to do is we want to have Pat speak to that a little bit and talk some things about the training programs he set up and maybe a joke or two that he might be able to pull out that will make you laugh. So Pat, floor is yours.
Hey guys. Wow, what an intro.
Thanks, buddy. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I'm always just so flattered and humbled to be here. So thanks for having me. As always, just an honor to work in this role and to be part of this group. So truly the honor is all mine, and I hope to just continue to provide good content. So I didn't prepare a joke. I just got done with a bike ride. So I ran in, and I'm still in my get up, but it's good. Just working on keeping up with Tim right now. So if for those of you who don't know me, I see a lot of familiar names on here, obviously, a lot of consistency with this team. But for anybody who's new, my name is Pat Casey. I live in Salt Lake City. As Tim said, I'm a coach, bike racer, and just enjoy trying to be an amateur comedian at times. And yeah, so we're, did I say I'm a bike fitter, coach, bike fitter, bike racer? Kind of, those are my three pillars. That's pretty the only things that I'm good at. But yeah, I hope there's a lot of people on here who have already downloaded the plan. It seems actually, relative to last year, it seems like there's a lot more of you who have downloaded one of those 3 plans that I've released. And I have a few more coming down the pipeline that I'm going to get out before the end of the week. So it will encompass the races that weren't included. So the short course triathlon and the mixed team relay. So the races that were in Bermuda, I will be providing plans for those events as well. The ones that I've currently had out are the sprint distance duathlon and the standard duathlon and the cross triathlon. I just recommend, and then I didn't write a separate one for the cross duathlon because I figured if you're doing the cross duathlon, you're probably either doing another event or you can utilize one of those 2 duathlon plans that sort of fits your hours per week available. So to give you a little bit of background, just I figured, Tim, maybe we can do another kind of coaching webinar where it's a little more focused, but just so you guys have a little bit of background today, I like to give some of the, general focus and then ways that you can tailor the plan to your own needs the best way you can. So as I'd mentioned, there's 3 plans. There is just one per discipline. I think that's the most effective way to do it. And I have some notes within each one which give you a little bit of modification. I know that there's a big stratification of age groups and abilities on the team, and it's important that we're not feeling like every workout is just completely blowing the doors off. And one way that you can sort of tailor this specifically for you is first by setting your zones. If those zones that are in those workouts look totally astronomical with you, whether you train with power or you train with heart rate, I encourage you to get a Training Peaks account. It's very inexpensive. I think it ends up being like $11 a month, but if it's something that you're using to hold yourself accountable, coming out of pocket for that is pretty, I think, worthwhile because it allows you a lot of abilities that the basic account doesn't. So it's important that you go in and you set those zones. There are tests like power tests and pacing tests within that, within the training plans. What your Training Peaks account will do for you if you have a premium account is it will actually calibrate your zones based upon your tests. So it's incredibly effective and smart. And when you apply those training zones, it will make the built workouts, which all of them are made in this builder function of Training Peaks. It takes a lot more time, but it makes it a lot more user friendly and a lot more specific to each athlete. If you can go in, you can adjust those training zones and it will automatically adjust the training zones within each workout. So, any of you, if you have questions about this, don't be afraid to look online. If I answered the same questions that I get with every person, I wouldn't do anything else in my day. So go on to Training Peaks website. Their blog is incredible. If you have it's as simple as it can get on the blog. It's very user friendly. It's a user friendly app, and you can download those you can get it through the application on your phone too. So say you're like at the pool and you're like, oh crap, what was my workout? You can pull it up on the app and it's right there. You can look at all the pacing, all the zones, all the distances. So yeah, and then within all those plans, there are some injury prevention routines. I think those do carry a lot of weight. If you have a hard time holding yourself accountable, I think a good alternative is doing Pilates. I'm a huge Pilates fan. I use a lot of, that for core strengthening, kind of modified poses within different modalities that I do. And then I prescribe a lot of that stuff within all of those weeks of the workouts that you'll see. There'll be some foundation training, there'll be some core. But if you want to add a layer to that, I highly encourage you to do the Pilates through Nolene. That would be a really nice supplement to the plan. I think other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions anybody might have. Tim, if you think this is a good time to do question and answer, I just word vomited about the plans, but I think I gave some good info. Not sure.
Yeah, and maybe we just keep the question really basic. I know there's a lot of questions that are coming through the chat. And so what we'll do is, obviously Lindsay's gone in and answered some of those. There are some specific ones for you, Pat, that you might want to go back.
Oh yeah, I'm looking right now.
Just scroll through and then maybe just answer those within the chat itself, or provide your email address so that if somebody wants to do some email correspondence with you or some other means of communicating with you around that would be possible.
Sure thing. Yeah, so definitely a lot about Montreal, and I'm going to get those out by the end of the week. So we'll make those. Let's say we'll have those start on Monday. So just FYI, those will be out, and that would be. I'll look again back at the weeks out, but yeah, let me just commit some time in the morning tomorrow to just knocking all of those out. I'm fitting for the rest of the evening, so I'll do those when I'm fresh and my brain works, and I'll get those out and finished up. They're pretty tight right now. I already have them built, so. But I like to start things on a weekday just so that people can kind of find a rhythm within the week and then go into the weekend without being like, oh, all of a sudden I have a new thing on Saturday. I have to start wrapping my head around this. But when you get it on a Monday, you can kind of see and plan it around the rest of the week.
That'd be great.
Pat, we can offline about this, but I won't be able to get them sent out on Monday. So
okay.
I don't want everyone to expect them on Monday.
Right.
I'm going to be out of the office, so maybe they can start Tuesday or the following Monday, but I don't want to expect them on Monday, and then I don't want my email to get bombarded of where are they. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, sorry, Lindsay.
No, all good.
Let's make them. Could you send them out before the weekend, or are you tied up on Friday? We can talk about this too, but
I'm taking a couple days off.
Oh, so, good for you. No, you need that.
She needs to. Yes.
Yeah. So just everyone can know they're coming in the next week or so. But Pat's working on them, and they're coming from Montreal.
And Pat, some consideration too to aqua bike and aquathlon as well. That was another one of the questions that was posed by some people on the call today.
And
so Lindsay can get
question,
the event locations.
Another question I see that might be beneficial to some people: is there a way to preview the plans without first importing to Training Peaks?
So you can view 2 of the weeks of the plans on Training Peaks. But if you wanted to create a ghost account, you could download them to a new account. Like if you have a different email address, if you want to just create like a secondary Training Peaks, that's an easy way to just download it. I made it $0, so you don't have to come out of pocket for anything. Just create a new account.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the things that we might consider, Lindsay, is maybe we have a special standalone session for Pat to go into a little bit more detail on some of the training plans and make it just a targeted town hall that we would do with him. Maybe that's a thought we could build
maybe in
between the ones that we have here too.
That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, let's move on. If everybody's ready to move on, you guys all ready? Pat, thank you so much. You are a trooper. Really appreciate all your time and commitment to this team and to USA Triathlon. And we always talk Pat into doing endurance exchange presentations as well. We'll get at the very end, we're going to talk a little bit about endurance exchange, so you guys can still get signed up and perhaps you get the opportunity to learn some more things that will help you in your training plans that Pat will tee up for you. Let's talk about updates around Worlds. As many of you know, for those especially that are looking at Abu Dhabi as a potential location for you to attend Worlds, we have a date, and we have a date that we've married ourselves to thanks to World Triathlon coming up with what was a very hard and long discussion internally with the decision makers in Abu Dhabi. The reason for the date change was water temp. And so we knew when they announced that water temperature was going to be an issue in the first part of November, we figured that they would probably move it back. We didn't know how long or what dates they would choose, but they actually chose November 24th through the 26th, just so you guys know. If you have not seen it, heard it, we obviously had Lindsay reach out to everyone, let them know the date, but that is official, and we are banking on that as the official timeline for which we will follow and do all of our lead up and prep around those particular dates. Obviously, that is Thanksgiving weekend for us. And so we're looking at trying to be creative with a few things that we're not going to release just yet because it's still work in progress. But because it's going to be a holiday for the Americans that are going to be overseas, maybe there's some fun things we can build around that. So be on the lookout for what it is that Lindsay and I will be discussing that we can possibly do. Also, there were concerns from a few about safety, and we had a shutoff date for those responses that is now expired. And so we had a committee that we brought together to look at the individual written submissions for dispensation requests. And those are still being reviewed by our team, by our committee to get back to those individuals. And that'll all be channeled through Lindsay, who will manage every aspect of those moving parts. The other thing that has been big news, big question of Lindsay over the last several weeks has been the location for World Triathlon Long Course Aquathlon and Aquabike. And as frustrating as it is for all of us, we've been told by World Triathlon that there's not a data location yet. We were told last week that it would probably be at some point in time in the next 5 to 7 days that we would learn, but we will not marry ourselves to that. And so if you would please not email Lindsay and ask for a date of which we'll know it. As soon as we know it, we will cut our little video that we often do. We will post it on Facebook pages, and we will make certain that you guys are very aware of the date location. Now, there is a possibility that we don't even have a date and location. There is that chance that they cannot find a location for it because of how difficult sometimes it is to land an event on a weekend in a country when there's so much uncertainty around COVID and what's just happening in the world, or what's happening with event schedules and city schedules and whatnot that makes it hard to put another race on or another series of races on. So we will be patient. We appreciate your patience around that as well. The other event obviously is Romania. And this has probably been one of the harder questions of Lindsay as well. And here's one of the things that we have moved on very, very quickly and aggressively. As soon as we anticipated that there might be issues, what happened to the north of Romania, Ukraine and Russia, we reached out to World Triathlon and got confirmation that there was no safety concern for anyone coming to the event as of that point in time. And that's the key point that we need to make. Things can change, just like with COVID, things can change very, very quickly and rapidly. So we've been very cautious, very careful to not say that the blame is we're safe, other than we're safe as of the point in time that we were notified that things are still as scheduled for Romania, based on what World Triathlon has told us. Matter of fact, the schedules are set for all the activities, for all the races, all the other accoutrements that come with races has been set and established. And so we are moving forward as if we're still going to the race, and we should, because the training you need to do to prepare for that needs to be continuous, and it shouldn't be done with the mindset that we probably won't end up going. And so I'm not going to train at the level and the intensity that I set myself out to do in order to be really prepared for that world's competition. The other thing that we did is that we reached out to the USOPC, and the Olympic Committee is very, very connected to obviously a lot of things that are happening around the world. They have a direct line to every agency in the world that can speak to safety within a particular country. And I wanted to just quickly state, there's a sentence that we received in our feedback from them on Friday, February 25th, which was this past Friday. And it reads, amid the significant escalation in Russian military action in Ukraine, many sources are not anticipating a major change in security posture for those traveling to nations bordering Ukraine, including Belarus, Estonia, Finland, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, and Sweden. So we've gone back to them. We've had 2 or 3 people come back to us saying, right now, from everything that they've been told, that they've heard, we are still safe to attend the event and to compete as scheduled. So the World Triathlon view, USOPC view is consistent and it's the same. And so let's please just continue to train as we need to. And if there is to be a change in position, we will be the first to reach out to you. Lindsay and I will probably kick off another one of those videos that we're talking about, and we'll post on Facebook pages, and we'll make sure that you guys are communicated to about what shifts from this might actually happen, just so you guys are aware. All right, let's move on. We got a lot to cover, so I want to make sure we don't run short on time. Let's segue into Miss Lindsay Welker's coverage of the tri-suit situation. Lindsay?
Thanks, Tim. Just one thing I want to circle back on quick before moving on is with the Abu Dhabi deferral request forms. I've gotten a lot of questions about the status of people's request forms. Just know that all of the request forms that we've gotten, we have taken and sent off to an outside unbiased committee, and they are reviewing all the deferral request forms. We had a pretty large amount of them come in. And so, you know, they have their hands full right now, and they are going through all of them, and they want to take their time going through them, so they make sure that they make fair and just decisions. And so once we receive those decisions back, I will be contacting each athlete individually. So please just know that the process is moving forward, and we will be in touch once we have those final decisions. And also, like Tim mentioned, that deadline has passed to submit those deferral request forms. I've gotten some emails and phone calls to try and still get some submitted today. And, you know, we have a deadline and we have to stick to it. I can't make an exception for 1 or 2 athletes when, you know, we have 1,700 athletes on the team. So please just respect that decision from USAT that we have a deadline and that we won't be making any exceptions to that deadline. So like Tim said, I'm now going to talk about tri-suits, which I know has been a hot topic. Like you guys know, we have a new partner this year for our tri-suits, our race kits, Zone 3. And like we mentioned last time, you cannot race in any other brand other than Zone 3 at a World Triathlon World Championships. So if you show up in a Roka suit or a tier suit, you will be disqualified. So we just want to make sure we're very transparent, and you know that Zone 3 kits are the only approved kits for Team USA at the World Triathlon level. Now we also know that you haven't been able to purchase them yet. We have been working through some things with our new partner, Zone 3, and we just want to make sure that everything is set and ready, and we have the perfect kit for you guys before the ordering link is released to you all. It's gonna be a little bit longer before we get that link out to you. We thought it was gonna be this week. Unfortunately, we got some news that it's not gonna be this week, but we wanna assure you that all athletes are gonna have a kit in time before Worlds. Even for Viborg, which is May 7th, there's no concern of athletes receiving a kit on time. So please know that we know when all the Worlds are, and that all athletes will have a kit in plenty of time. We know everyone is super antsy to get a new shiny kit with your name on it. And please just know that we're working through things as quickly as we can. And unfortunately, it's just taking a little bit longer than expected. But as soon as we have that link, we will be sending that out to all athletes. And the turnaround time is actually going to be really, really quick from the time you place an order to when you actually receive it at your home. So we appreciate your patience and your understanding, and just know that we're working through things with our partner as quickly as we can.
Yeah, and because we have 112 people on this call, and we have a lot of others that are not joining us, it might be good if you guys have a small network of people to reach out to, just to remind them of that detail, so that, again, we don't have people continuing to ask the same question of Lindsay based on that. So really appreciate your patience around this, and we're excited and energized by how cool they look and how they're going to feel, obviously, racing and competing in world championships this year. So thanks, Lindsay, on that. Let's have you slide into the next segment, which is communication. And one of the things that we know is a hot point, and it should be, is exactly the number of ways that we're communicating with all of you. And we've done a really great job. Lindsay has spent a lot of time on this and has looked at the different options. And we're probably stretching the limits of some of you and your technical skills by some of the things we brought in. We apologize for that. But you know what? A lot of times it works as easily as email. It works as easily as other communication we've had. You just have to take a couple of minutes to kind of understand how it is that we're going to communicate through that platform. We're trying to do more video. We're trying to do, obviously, the town halls to be more communicative with you guys. And those things will continue. But we may introduce, and we will introduce, some other new things that Lindsay's going to talk about right now. Lindsay?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Like Tim mentioned, we are trying to hit as many different communication platforms and touch points as possible, just so that we're catering to all of our athletes' different preferences. So like last time, I'm going to run through all of our different platforms that we're using, and I really just can't emphasize enough checking out our different platforms that we have, because these are where we're posting all of our most up-to-date information. And we don't want athletes thinking that we're not communicating information or pushing out the most up-to-date information, because we are. Maybe you're just not looking in quite the right spot. So the first place that I'm going to recommend all athletes go we have team-specific Facebook pages. They're private groups for each world's team. So there's a Team USA Romania Facebook page. There's a Team USA Montreal page. There's a Team USA Viborg page. There's a Team USA Zofingen page and a Team USA Abu Dhabi page. Those are all of our world championships for the year, as you know. And there's a specific team page for each team so that we can share team-specific information with you all. So if you have not already, I encourage you to go to our TeamUSA website, which is where you can find the link for the specific TeamUSA Facebook page for your team. If you just go on Facebook and type in TeamUSA Montreal, you're not going to find the page because it is a private group. You need to have the direct link. And like I said, those links are on our TeamUSA website. And that's going to take me to our next platform, our TeamUSA website. It's updated almost daily with information. On the homepage of our website, we have a news and information section that houses all of our ever-changing information. That's like I said, is our most accurate, updated information, news. The town hall links are housed on that homepage. And then there's also a tab that says 2022 events. And I encourage you to click on that tab and you'll see a little image for each of the world championships. And you can click on whatever world championship team that you're a part of, click on that, and that'll take you to a page, more information for your specific team. And on that page is where you'll find the Facebook link. So I know it might sound a little bit confusing when I'm explaining it, but it's actually, we think we've laid it out in a pretty straightforward way and pretty easy for you guys to access information. Next is emails. We've started sending out team-specific emails. So like I said, if you're on the Montreal team, the Romania team, whatever it may be, we've started sending out, we're going to do monthly emails just with any event information that we have. We'll still do our TeamUSA newsletter that goes out monthly to all of our athletes, but we've started doing monthly team emails. And in our next month's email, which will be probably the end of March, we will be sending out the final registration links for Viborg, Montreal, and Romania. So be on the lookout for those. Like you guys know, the final registration is the final commitment to being on the team, and that registration goes directly to World Triathlon and is required to compete in the event. And then the last thing I want to talk about in terms of communication is, I know if you guys were on the team last year, you know that we utilize Slack channels. Unfortunately, with our numbers this year, which is a good thing, but we can't utilize Slack just because we will have too many users on Slack. So we're gonna utilize WhatsApp, and that is just it's an app that you can download on your phone. It's free. And we'll have a specific group for each team. So it's essentially going to work just like Slack. It's just on a different app. And instead of me inviting all of the athletes to a specific team, I will actually just send you a link and you'll click on it and download the app. I know with Slack, like I uploaded all the athletes. It's a little bit different on WhatsApp. So in the next team email, like the team specific email that I send out, you'll have that WhatsApp link. You just click on it, it'll download it, and it will take, you'll have the, say, TeamUSA Montreal, you'll be added to that group. We'll utilize that a little bit more when we're on site at Worlds, but we'll also share, some reminders like, make sure you make the final registration payment, the deadline's coming up or something like that. So just a heads up on that, more information to come, but just wanted to share that piece as well.
And we're happy if you guys are concerned or confused, we're happy to do a tutorial on how to use WhatsApp as well. It's really simple. There's nothing too complicated about it, but we could put together something pretty easy. And post that for you guys to figure out how to actually add the app to your phone as well. These are all communication vehicles that we feel are really critical for you. And you might be feeling like, wow, that was a lot. Geez, Lindsay, you threw me a curveball. And I don't hit curveballs, but it really is very, very basic stuff. And Lindsay obviously will communicate with you on how to access those and or just remind you of the different things that we're doing, so that you know that if you don't like one, you might get the other, but we want you to be as versed in all of these as you possibly can, just so that, like she said, WhatsApp's going to be more of a vehicle that we're going to use while we're at the venue. It's really critical. Sometimes we will be told stuff on a Thursday night for Friday races, and we need to figure out the best way other than email to get to you, and WhatsApp becomes a really great option for us as the example. So everybody good with that? All right, let's move on to another topic that we haven't actually had a chance to say. The age group captains has not come out of my mouth in a long time. The age group captain program was a kind of the brainchild of a few of us about 15, maybe 20 years ago, when we were trying to figure out a way through which we could have better social engagement with people in approximately the same age range. And it was troubling in that we would show up at a world championship and people would come home and they would do surveys and they would come back to saying, wow, it's really frustrating. I didn't really get to know anybody in my age group. And that was a clear sign that we need to actually do some things that guaranteed that we created the opportunity for more engagement with people in approximately the same age. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring back the age captain program. For each of the world championships, there will be a different program. So because it's different athletes, right? And so I just need to put my finishing touches on a draft that Lindsay created, and then she'll push that out, and it'll create the information that we need to get back from you guys. If there's interest in you being a captain, and being a captain might be getting people in your age group to go for a group ride. It might be looking at a run option. It might be going to a coffee shop with 10 or 12 of you and having a chance to sit down and get to know each other and talk about what it is that you do and what you like to do, and that your experience with TeamUSA, or it might be just a number of things. It can be anything and everything the age captain feels is important. And then we'll give you the device through which you can communicate with those people in 10-year increments. So 2029, 30-39, 40-49, and not everybody will participate, and that's fine. But we want to make sure that there's that social engagement side. Now that we're kind of coming out of the COVID phase, where we can maybe do a few more things like that, especially if it's outdoors. And so that will be the new program that we create. We will obviously evaluate at the end of the year to see if we hit our mark, see if you felt it was advantageous, not necessarily as a captain, but as a member of a particular 10-year age group where you had the opportunity to get with the age group captain and enjoy something fun and different. That would be the first opportunity. Probably is going to be Romania. We will be there. We'll be in contact with the age group captains. We'll have a special meeting that'll kick off the week. So the other commitment you're going to need to make is you can't show up on Thursday for races to start on Friday or on Saturday. We're going to need for an age group captain that we consider to be there a little bit earlier, slightly earlier, in order to be certain that what they set up, they're actually leading it rather than trying to cram something in when it doesn't work for most of the athlete's schedule. So the age group captain program will continue to speak to it. And again, the application, the one pager, will be posted to the TeamUSA website very, very soon, the TeamUSA Facebook page. Let's talk about final registration. Lindsay, final registration. We've got some events coming up. I'll have you cover that next.
Yeah, I touched on that briefly, but the final registration for Viborg, Montreal, and Romania will be sent out within the next couple of weeks. Like I mentioned, that is your final confirmation of being on the team, and that goes directly to World Triathlon, and those prices are set by World Triathlon. We just are the middleman. We have to take payment, and then we pay World Triathlon, or as a national federation, for our entire team. So just be on the lookout for that email that will be coming in a couple of weeks. And then another thing we want to hit on is bike shipping. We have gotten some questions about Romania. Please know we understand it's a little bit of a tough situation. Romania is not the easiest location to get to. We understand that, and we know that transport is not servicing that event, unfortunately. Are working with another potential partner that seems really promising. And we think we have a really good opportunity. We just finalized some details with them before we can share any information. So just know that we are working really hard internally to provide some really good options for you all, and you should have some more information soon. And then you all know that Private Transport is servicing Montreal. However, there have been some concerns that they have been telling athletes that they might not be servicing Montreal anymore. I spoke to Private Transport last week on this situation, and so I just kind of wanted to give an update to you all. And they said that to date, they only have 15 reservations. And unfortunately, that is not enough for them to service the event. They need to hit X number in order to service the event. So what they recommended and what they wanted to share with all is that if you plan on using Private Transport, please reach out to them and indicate interest. I believe as of now, if you go to the link, it looks like you're just like basically saving a spot. It's not like or you're getting on like a wait list. What it looks like that's just simply for them to know that that you're interested and that you'll be added to like the overall number essentially. And so the more people that do that, it'll show them that they can get their number and they will confirm and service the event. So all I can say is if you plan on using Tech Transfer Montreal, contact them as soon as you can, and the more athletes we get, the better, because then we can confirm this will service the event.
Right. And Lindsay, and just note too that Lindsay made the point that we've been working every angle. We have probably been as creative as anything else we were doing this from trying to secure bike options, especially for those people that are doing multiple races, right? Where 2 bikes would be advantageous. It's not ideal to necessarily have to reconfigure your bike while you're there, because it's sometimes a painful shift back to the original position that you had. Something we're going to try to be creative so you guys can remove at least one stress. Not always easy done, but we're going to do our best to continue to make some solutions happen for you guys. Thank you for your space about that. The next topic we're going to slide into is Jeff Manson, who is here to talk about travel, COVID, and speak to some of those points. As you guys know, Jeff has been really instrumental in doing a lot of work for us around travel, transportation, housing, all that. I see there are a couple of questions that did come in that spoke to Montreal and what we're going to do with housing packs there. Just know that we are very, very close to having that wrapped up. We are pushing the local organizer to be a little more descriptive on the options. Just be aware that it is not cheap going to Montreal. There's a secondary event going on, and they up prices, and so hotels are not cheap. But Jeff is going to bust some walls down and do his absolute best. Jeff, without further ado, you want to speak to some of the housing things that you're currently working on.
Great, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Sure. So quickly touch base on Romania. Those packages are out, posted on USA Triathlon's website. They've been sent out via email, also on Facebook pages. I'll go ahead and put my email here in the chat. So if you have any questions, let me know. But you should have access to those packages. They'll have some left, obviously, but we don't have a ton of room, so recommend booking really quick to secure a room there. I'll touch base quickly on COVID for Romania. And as you know, things can change between now and June. But as of now, if you are vaccinated, you just need to show proof of vaccination in order to enter the country. If you're unvaccinated, you will need to take a PCR or rapid test within 72 hours of your arrival to show that to enter the country. Again, these can change, and also returning back to the U.S., there's still that 1-day policy for everyone returning to get that COVID test to return to the U.S. So we will send out options for COVID testing in the local area of Romania as we get closer, assuming nothing has changed now and then. Touch base on Montreal and Abu Dhabi COVID on the next town hall. Just wait to see if there's any changes on that before we kind of talk about that. As Tim said, Montreal was close to those packages. The lockdown kind of put us behind. That happened in Montreal and Quebec, but we hope to have those out in the next week or two. Again, they're not going to be cheap because it's rather pricey during that time. So just keep that in mind, budget reasons. And then again, we just got pricing for Abu Dhabi as well from hotels, so I'm in the process of confirming those as well. So we should have both of those ready to go soon. And we will get those to the appropriate avenues, Facebook, with USA Triathlon website as soon as we have those ready. I think that's it, and we're kind of pressed for time. So anything else, Tim, that you want me to touch base on?
Nope.
Thanks.
Awesome.
For being quick. Tim, I think we have about 5 minutes for questions before you wrap up, so I'll fire off some of you if that sounds good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. There's a couple of questions about the tri-suits, and if with some concerns about sizing, if you'll be able to order multiple sizes, and if you don't get your name printed on it, could you then return the sizes that don't work? And the answer is yes to that. So if you can order however many different suits you want. As long as you don't get your name printed on it, the suits will be returnable. So you can order 3 different sizes, choose the size you want, send back the other 2, and then just get your name printed on it at a local print shop.
There's another one that and this is toward the back end, but Kimmy had asked about bringing your own rapid COVID test. Jeff, you've managed that before with the team. I believe it has to be a test that is done by an agency that's local where they can verify that person is you. And that when you bring that report back, it has your name and obviously you identify yourself as that person with your ID. I'm pretty certain that's not an option. Jeff, can you verify that? The actual code, you can't bring the rapid COVID test. You can purchase at Walgreens or Walmart or something like that.
Yeah, it needs to be approved by the airline. So there are cell phone you can bring, but you just need to make sure it's approved by the CDC and the airline. And we can send some more information about that. But yeah, if you just buy one at Walgreens, it's probably not going to be approved.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Lindsay, you got more questions coming, I know.
Yeah, a question. Start list for Montreal. Where could you find those? Those won't be released for a while.
Yeah, we wish they were. Oof.
Well, registration, the fund is not even due till like May 1st from the Federation. So once they receive all the Federation's registration, then they'll produce start lists. So don't expect to see those until sometime in May. But those we'll share those once we have those.
Yep.
Someone asked for the link for our website, so I'm just posting that in the chat right now. Sorry, I went back pretty far. Sorry. I actually answered a lot of these questions just via typing while you were talking to him.
Okay.
When will we know our mixed relay teams for Montreal and how, will the format be the same as Bermuda where it was going to be all 4 relay teams or all 4 members racing and then the times are just added up, or will it be a true mixed relay?
Yeah, it's going to be a true mixed relay as they've set it up right now. And so we are looking forward to that because it'll be the first true test on how the mixed relay works for the age group side. But yeah, we're planning on doing exactly as we would do, not how they were planning on doing in Bermuda. That was from Sue.
And I'll just say that I can't give you an exact date on when you'll know your teams. That is something on my radar. It's on my to-do list for March, but not sure when we'll release those teams. But you'll know at least 6 weeks out from the event. I could give you that with certainty. So
Yep.
we'll post those on the Facebook page and whatnot, and we'll inform everyone. So
Back to the question real quick, Lindsay, on the test for coming back. The Abbott test is the correct test with telemed, as Jeff and Dave LaSorsa have noted. So make sure that you guys are aware of that test. And again, if we need to post that information so it's a little bit more clear, we can certainly do that on the site.
Someone mentioned, if you didn't already know, that there was a rule change and that short sleeves are allowed for all distances. Yep, that's correct.
That's the over the shoulder sleeve. Yep. That we've talked about. That was only for long course prior to that rule change that occurred over the holiday season. Yep.
Someone asked if we could set a deadline in which we'll know about long course try and aqua bike. And you can talk about that, Tim.
Yeah, I wish we could say that we will know this week, but we can't verify that. I've gone back to World Tri 2 or 3 times in the last 2 days, asking for a little bit more clarification. And here's the thing that we were told at the multi-sport meeting of World Triathlon, on which I sit, and that was that it's a very, very hard negotiation. And so it takes longer than they anticipated. They originally thought it was going to be a December decision. and then that particular country said they couldn't do it. They had to start all over again. So if indeed the country they're negotiating with right now, it falls through, they will start negotiating again. And my guess would be that if we get to May or June timeframe, then we probably will be really behind the 8 ball for a late fall event. And who knows where it could land after that. But we don't have a deadline, and we unfortunately can't let you in on what it is that they're even thinking about, because we don't know that information as well.
Cool. Then the last thing I see is a question about mixed team relay qualifying at Multisport Festival. That's a whole nother topic. There will be a Multisport Festival briefing in April that Tim will touch on, but I can say there's a whole qualification document on the Multisport Festival event page on our website. It's like a 2 or 3 or 4 page document that's really detailed about qualification. So go check that out. And Tim, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, you ready to lock this down? We're at 4:59 p.m. Couple things to close. Number one, the next Team USA All Athlete Town Hall is going to be April 6th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Write that down. We'd love to have you join us again for updates on what it is that we talk about each month that we have these. The link will be sent out in the next newsletter, posted on the site, Facebook pages. There really be a lot of communication vehicles through which we will announce the next town hall meeting. Also, there was going to be a Multisport Festival Team USA specific race briefing on April 20th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And so make sure you guys tune in for that. Again, Multisport Festival Team USA specific race briefing, April 20th at 5 p.m. So if you're taking notes, make sure you note that. And then we're going to close with Endurance Exchange. Endurance Exchange actually it's kicked off tonight with a happy hour, a virtual happy hour. This is a virtual event that we're doing for the second consecutive year. Endurance Exchange is really an unbelievable industry conference that we manage. It has all sorts of incredible information for novice as well as for experienced triathletes. It has information for race directors, has information for coaches, has information for medical experts, has information for clubs. The athlete track is $50, you guys. And there are nearly 15 different presentations from 45 minutes to an hour that will touch on a lot of different topics that will be advantageous for you guys to review. If you don't feel that this week is a great opportunity for you to take part in a 2.5-day conference, you have 90 days post-event to actually go back, watch the videos, take notes, watch them again, take more notes. And for every presentation that's athlete focused, you have the ability to really hone in on some details around that and follow up with questions about that, that you so have after you listen to the particular presentation, because we'll provide to you contact information for some of the people doing those. So hopefully you guys are interested. EnduranceExchange.com. That's going to do it, Lindsay. Anything else you want to cover?
Nope, I just dropped the link in the chat that you can click on to take you right to registering for Endurance Exchange. So
Okay, make sure you guys click on that and take a look at that really quick, and we will hopefully see you guys there. If not this week, you'll have a chance to again make that purchase and be part of the next 90 days of review and analysis and assessment of a pretty cool information you guys can learn from. So thank you everybody for taking part in this second town hall. We hope you learned some things. Again, one nugget sometimes is the telltale. It can make or break your mind space. And so hopefully you guys are able to take away one nugget. We will see you guys on April 20th, April 6th, all the dates that we talked about in our closing. So until then, be safe, everybody. We'll chat soon.
Recording stopped.